Today I want to talk about FYMBULWYNTER, issues 1 and 2. Now, FYMBULWYNTER is a self-published comic book by a cartoonist named Joshua Miller, who is out of the Buffalo, New York area. These are his first professional comics. I saw these on an Instagram post from Gutter Pop Comics. He had dropped off some comics there. And I was just really hooked on the art, and so I was hooked enough where I said, hey, you know what, let me try some out. So I got them in the past week, and I just wanted to talk about them because these are, to me, pretty great for a first effort. So Joshua Miller has been publishing this series on Webtoons. I'm not a big Webtoons guy, but he made the comics available. They're each $5 each, color cover, black and white interior. The first issue has 48 pages, I want to say, 46, 48. And the second issue has 60 pages. And essentially the story is told from the perspective of Fenrir. Fenrir is a wolf in Norse mythology that has brought about Ragnarok. And he is the son of Loki, and his mother is a giantess. And basically, FYMBULWYNTER is like the time before, around, like, has to do with Ragnarok. But it takes place in this post-apocalyptic kind of setting. And this art has just kind of blew me away. And I'm not a person that usually looks at this kind of type of art and says, oh yeah, I gotta get that. I look at a lot of storytelling and dialogue. But I really thought some of these panel choices were interesting. You see this wolf is just like hacking up like body parts. And a lot of this comic starts off as wordless. So it's from the perspective of the wolf. And the story is, just so you know, Ragnarok has come. Ragnarok is the Norse mythology, twilight of the gods. This wolf has helped bring about Ragnarok. And usually, like in the Thor comics and everything else, Ragnarok is the end times. Anyone that brings about Ragnarok is the villain. And the people that are left, if there's anybody left, the people that are fighting Ragnarok are the heroes. But this is told from the perspective of Fenrir, this wolf from Norse mythology. And he feels like, okay, now that the Norse god, the dads are Odin and all that are dead, I can kind of like forge my own path instead of just being this spat upon being because my father was Loki. So it kind of does that twist. And a lot of this, I just love the art, and I love the composition of some of these stories. So you're reading it for a while, and you're like here you have Thor's hammer, but Thor's dead. And I just love, these are Odin's crows. They survived. And like I said, some of this panel layout is really good. The storytelling is great. And I'm thinking at first, is this going to be like a totally wordless comic? And then about halfway through is the first dialogue from the crows. And it said, the gray tones are well done. This use of black and the shading, it's just really interesting work. And the storytelling is there. And like I said, the art, I can't really describe it. I mean, it sort of looks like maybe Daniel Warren Johnson, but if Daniel Warren Johnson used thin lines, but I think this is better. Again, it's told from the perspective of the wolf, and it doesn't tell you everything at first. It just kind of like tells you a little bit, so you learn a little bit, but then you're like, okay, but what's kind of going on? Which is fine. I like a mystery. And then issue 2 picks up, and basically what you find out is that there are 3 children of Odin, not including Thor, that have survived. And there's also a lot of flashback sequences. So here he's having the flashback with Odin, and he eventually kills Odin. And this is Odin, and this is interesting because it's probably more true to the Norse gods than seeing how Odin is in the Thor comics. But it's just, love the art, love the storytelling, a lot of energy here, a lot of use of wordless panels, which is pretty ballsy for someone who is starting out, because a lot of times when people are starting out, they tend to like want to use a lot of dialogue so they can describe everything. But he's just saying, hey man, the art's here. The art is either going to tell you or not tell you what's going on, and then you use the dialogue to move the story a little bit. again, just great, interesting cartooning. And I love these black pages. They sort of remind me of like Stanley Kubrick, where Kubrick would end a scene and they would just fade to black. That was a signature in one of his films. I love that use of the black here. And so what you find out later is that this is Odin with his eye patch. Fenrir just like basically eats him. This is violent. This is orthopathology. And then what you find out is that the surviving children of Odin are going to take vengeance upon Fenrir. And Fenrir's attitude is like, I'm free now from all of you. I don't have to be this evil person. I can just do my own thing. And it's rather interesting. I love some of the close-ups here. I love how the people are drawn not perfect like regal gods, like totally buff and all that. They're drawn like human beings. You know, they're not perfect beings, which is another tendency when we draw gods, that they're all perfect, and, you know, physical specimens. And so now at the end of the second issue, they're on the hunt for Fenrir. And again, just really interesting storytelling. Like I said, both issues each are $5. They're available at Gutter Pop Comics. I'm going to put in the show description a link to Gutter Pop Comics website, and also to Joshua Miller's Instagram. These are really interesting comics. For $10, you can get 2 comics. I have 100 pages of story and art. This is his first professional work. I actually chatted with him a little bit on Instagram just to kind of get a feel. He's just starting out, but he's got that something. You know, doesn't mean that you're going to be a world famous cartoonist or anything, but he's got that thing where you can tell that he has an idea of what he's doing, and that he's pretty far along for someone at his early stage in the career, and he's doing something interesting. So I'm gonna look forward to more books of his, for more work of his. I think he's a talent. Not just the art, the story and the layouts and everything is what makes it better. I'm not a fan of just cool art. Like if you show me a Jim Lee book, no offense to Jim Lee, and I know he sold a billion comics, but you show me a Jim Lee comic, I like yawn. It's like, okay, yeah, these are all like posters in a panel, but there's no storytelling there. This actually has storytelling, and it's pretty cool. So I just thought I'd share it, because whenever I encounter someone who's a cartoonist early in their career, I like to talk about it, share it, because these are the kind of people that'll help the comics go forward in the future, and these are the kind of people that need our support, especially at this stage. Anyway, again, from Gutter Pops Comics, the title is pronounced FYMBULWYNTER, and it is Joshua Miller. I'm going to put the contact information in the show description on YouTube. Thanks.